Get some free giveaways today to help you with your technical analysis. Click on the link below to go to my website and you can download one or more of these 3 giveaways. I have an ebook on technical analysis basics for you. These are the contents of the ebook, several chapters on some basics, some indicators, some techniques, looking at gaps, looking at scale for your charts, and I've even got 2 steps to a high probability trade setup there for you. Another free giveaway is this easy candlestick pattern guide to the major candlestick reversal patterns, bullish and bearish, diagrams, descriptions of how they should be read and in what context. And a third giveaway, I have this Elliott Wave structure guide, 3 pages giving you all of the Elliott Wave structures with all of the rules you need to know and diagrams of the ideal form for each. Motive structures on 1 page and all of the corrective structures on 2 pages. So click on the link below and get any one or all of these 3 giveaways for free. Hello everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with an update of XRP analysis for you. Before I get into it, if you want to get on our email list so you know about our online course sale week before Christmas, Thursday 18th of December, get on our email list by getting some free stuff. Click the link in the description box below, go over to our website pureelliottwave.com and get your free stuff. And then we can email you when our courses go on sale and you'll be sure to not miss it. I looked at the bigger picture for XRP in my last video here on this channel. I'm just going to go over the daily chart now. So I'm looking for a 5-wave structure for minute wave C to continue lower to complete the expanded flat for minor wave 2. Minute wave B of the flat ends here, and this is where minute C begins, and it has to subdivide as a 5-wave motive structure. It looks like it's unfolding as an impulse with minuet 1 and 2 complete, and minuet 3 must subdivide as an impulse. So far that has subminuet 1, 2, 3 and 4 complete, and subminuet 5 may be completing lower as an ending expanding diagonal. Within an ending diagonal, all of the subwaves must subdivide as zigzags, so that's why we have micro 1 labelled as zigzag, and 2 and micro 3 an incomplete zigzag subdividing A, B, C. B could now be a complete regular contracting triangle, and now the breakout downward for submicro C may have begun to complete the zigzag of minute wave 3. Interestingly, within a diagonal, that's the only time you're going to see a third wave labelled as anything other than an impulse. Third waves must subdivide as impulses unless it's a third wave in a diagonal. When the zigzag for micro wave 3 is complete, then a zigzag up for micro 4 should unfold and must overlap wave 1 price territory. Had someone in the comments of my last video say it doesn't have to because Frost and Prechter say it doesn't. I've done some extensive research using Elliott Wave counts that was published in CMT Journal of Technical Analysis last year, and when I did that research I found no reason to rewrite that rule. I didn't find any diagonals where the 4th wave didn't overlap 1st wave price territory, so I haven't rewritten that rule. I'm keeping it as original. Now I had someone else make a really odd comment which is absolutely baffling, telling me that you can't have, within the subdivisions of a triangle, you can't have a flat as part of the triangle. The rule in Frost and Prechter, if that's the book you want to go by, not my book, Pure Elliott Wave, that's fine. If you go by Frost and Prechter, read the rule really carefully for triangles. 4 of the 5 subwaves of a triangle must subdivide as zigzag or zigzag multiples. Only 1 of the 5 subwaves may be a multiple. It says 4 of the 5 subwaves must be zigzag or zigzag multiples, not all of them. It doesn't say 5 of 5 or all, it says 4 of 5. Well, that obviously means that 1 of the subwaves within a triangle doesn't have to be a zigzag or zigzag multiple. And what are the other possible structures? It could be a flat. In my research I found that's highly unusual, but I do think it occurs, and I think I have found some examples of it. If you disagree with me, if you think that all of the subwaves must subdivide as zigzags, then you have to explain why in Frost and Prechter that's not how the rule is written. Anyway, I'm still expecting overall downward movement to complete minor wave 2. When I have minute waves 3 or minuet 3 and 4 within the impulse of minute C complete, then I'll calculate a target for final support. But for now, I'd rather use technical support below to see where it ends. Quick technical analysis on the weekly. XRP has been essentially moving sideways for many months now. Resistance at 3.665 or 3.7 about there, and support just below at 1.6, currently support holding about 1.9. This downward movement has met and exceeded the technical definition of a bear market. The technical definition of it is at least a 20% reduction in market value. That's the minimum requirement of reduction in market value for a bearish movement to be defined as a bear market. It doesn't tell you where the bear market ends, and it doesn't say bear markets are a 20% reduction in market value. That's just the minimum reduction before you can call it a bear market. Again, some people in the comments have had a real problem understanding that concept. I don't know why it's so difficult, and I don't know how much clearer I can make it. So this is technically a bear market, and I'm not going to redefine a bear market for XRP to say it has to be a deeper reduction. The bear market, it does have bear markets regularly within its larger secular bull market, and that's a measurement of the extreme volatility. I don't want to redefine a bear market because that definition is important when we're considering a drawdown on our position, and that to redefine it and fudge it obfuscates how highly volatile these markets are, and high volatility is very, very high risk. So this is technically a bear market. So now we're looking at, can we see when it's complete, can we see oversold extreme conditions? Can we see any bullish divergence? And can we see any bullish candlestick reversal patterns? Those are the things I'll be looking at to see if the bear market's complete. So until that happens, let's assume the trend remains the same until proven otherwise. There was initially a little bit of a rise in volume as price is falling, but overall, for the last several weeks now, overall volume is declining as price falls. That doesn't necessarily mean this bear market has to end soon, because price can fall of its own weight for a considerable distance and quite quickly too. You don't need volume to push price lower in order for price to continue going lower. On balance volume is making lows with price. This is bearish. ADX at the weekly time frame is very clear, tells us yes, there is a downward trend in place, and it's not extreme. The black ADX line is not above 50, and it's not above the negative DX line. RSI isn't oversold, and money flow is not oversold, so there's quite a lot of room to go before this bear market may reach extreme oversold conditions. Along with a decline in volume, currently there's a decline in range, so there is now some weakness in this bear market. Looking at the last decent downward move in more detail, we do see some bullish divergence at this last low here on a closing basis. The close was 1.95 here, and RSI made a higher pivot. But conditions aren't yet extreme at the weekly time frame. This bullish divergence could just be resolved by some sideways movement. We could see price continue lower, and we could see multiple bullish divergence develop before the bear market comes to an end. Price is currently moving sideways in a small range, and volume is declining. There's a little consolidation underway at the moment. Zooming in on balance volume a little bit at the daily time frame. So price looks like it might just be moving out of that little Elliott Wave triangle, and on balance volume is also within a consolidation. So draw these lines really carefully on balance volume on the daily, and use these as an advanced signal. Sometimes on balance volume will break out above resistance or below support before price breaks out. So watch this one carefully. It's one of the few advanced signals that you can get in technical analysis. At the daily time frame, while price is moving sideways, ADX is declining. No clear trend at this time frame, but still a downward trend at the weekly time frame. And as price moves sideways, ATR is declining as well. That's it from me this week with your update for XRP. I hope you're all having a lovely week, and I look forward to seeing you in our sale next week just before Christmas.